Hi there. This time, I'd like to talk a little bit about refocusing tax policy. Now, this is part of what I call the counter-revolution to radically reverse Ronnie Rodeo's reactionary Republican revolution. And if you don't know what I mean by that, you might want to first look at my video, Counter-Revolution, a 9-point agenda for change. Now, if you've already seen that video, you still might be asking, why do we need to refocus tax policy as part of our effort to overcome the damage which has been done to our society in the last 40 years? Many of us think of taxation simply as a way in which government gets the funding it needs to keep itself going and to pay the workers. But, well, taxation is a lot more than that. It is the most powerful tool that government has for influencing the economy, for deciding how the society operates, and most importantly, for moving wealth from one part of the society to another. And we desperately need to change our power structure and change the direction in which wealth is flowing. So, I propose 3 general changes to tax policy and 3 specific tax changes to specific taxes. The general changes are, number 1, making our tax laws clearer and easier to understand and comply with. Number 2, taxing those that can afford it and regulating those who need it. And number 3, encouraging and enforcing voluntary compliance with our tax laws. The first is making our tax laws clear and easy to understand, as well as making them easy to comply with. I propose that we do a complete revision of the Internal Revenue Code, which is the tax laws of the federal government. Now this isn't a new idea. Ronnie Rodeo actually did it in 1986. But we are way overdue. Our tax laws have become incredibly complex. We need to make them clear and simple and easy for anyone to understand. And they need to be posted online during and after the revision process. My second general change is taxing those who can afford it and regulating those who need it. Since Ronnie Rodeo's reactionary Republican revolution, the tax rates for high-income taxpayers have been dramatically reduced. I propose that we raise them. I also propose that we close many of the loopholes from which higher-income taxpayers, both corporations and individuals, have benefited. We need to simplify compliance for all taxpayers. Simpler laws written in easy-to-understand language will help, but we also need to make some changes in accounting practices and increase computerization of the entire process. Now, we don't want to stifle entrepreneurs. And therefore, I propose that larger and older corporations be subject to higher taxes and tighter regulation than small startups. And finally, we need to dedicate greater resources to assisting low and middle income individual taxpayers. They should be getting all the benefits they have coming to them without having to incur effort and expense. The last general change is encouraging and enforcing voluntary compliance with our tax laws. Is to increase the IRS budget so that it can effectively do its job of ensuring compliance through audits and assisting taxpayers. Those are my proposed general changes, making our tax laws clear and easy to understand and comply with, taxing those who can afford it and regulating those who need it, and encouraging and enforcing voluntary compliance with our tax laws. I'm also proposing changes to 3 specific tax types: social cost and benefit taxation, the anti-aristocracy tax, and the pro-investment tax. Now, none of these are new. All of them were in existence before Ronnie Rodeo's reactionary Republican Revolution. Over the last 40 years, they have been weakened and misused. All I'm really proposing here is that we set them right. So, first, social cost and benefit taxation. Social benefit taxation is a policy which taxes behaviors which are bad for society, so that economic actors, be they individuals or corporations, are less likely to do them because the cost when the tax is added will be too great. Good examples would be cigarette taxes and carbon taxes. Social benefit taxation is exactly the opposite. It's simply a matter of passing laws which reduce the taxes for behavior which is good for society, like charitable contributions deductions or accelerated depreciation on capital assets. Our tax laws are full of social cost and benefit taxation. They were before Ronnie Rodeo, and they are now. The problem is that these days, with the laws being written by and for corporations and aristocracies, the benefits which are penalized tend to be those that are good for society. And many of the behaviors that are rewarded tend to be those which, although they're good for corporations and aristocracies, are bad for human beings. So, as you can see, what we need to do is change the direction. All right. I talk more about the specifics of this and other tax policies in other videos, but the concept is simple. Use the tax laws to reward good behavior and to punish bad behavior. The second type which we need to address is what I call the anti-aristocracy tax. Over the last 40 years, aristocracies, which shouldn't exist at all, have proliferated and grown wealthier. If you're not aware of this phenomenon, you might want to watch my video, Abolish Aristocracies in America. The most important tool for abolishing aristocracies is what you may have heard of referred to as the death tax. They call it that to scare you. The real name is the estate and gift and generation skipping transfer tax. But I think its real name should be the anti-aristocracy tax. This law taxes wealth given to beneficiaries who have not earned it. Now, wealthy human beings may spend whatever they want on themselves while they are alive. Only humans trying to pass on excessive wealth to others who have not earned it are affected by the anti-aristocracy tax. Well, as you can imagine, this tax has been reduced and loaded with loopholes over the last 40 years. I propose that we raise the rates to even higher than they were before Ronnie Rodeo, to the point where, for billionaires, any more than $1.5 billion given to their children would incur a tax rate of 98%. And of course, we need to close most of the loopholes, because we really need to abolish aristocracies, and this is a way to do it. Okay, lastly, the pro-investment tax, otherwise known as the capital gains tax. Now, the problem here is that corporations tend to be very short-sighted. They're focused on current stock price and quarterly reporting rather than long-range planning and the welfare of our children and grandchildren. One of the reasons for this is the whole design of the stock market. Apologists for Ronnie Rodeo's reactionary Republican revolution will tell you that the stock market is the engine of capitalism. Well, would actually be better described as a casino. One of the ways that we can make our corporations less short-sighted is to make dramatic changes in the capital gains tax. Now, capital gains taxation is simply the way in which we tax money received when the taxpayer sells a capital asset. It's a capital asset. Well, it can be shares of stock, a business, a parcel of land, a work of art, lots of kinds of things. Currently, we have a two-tier system. Assets held for less than a year are taxed at a greater rate than those that are held for more than a year. Under my proposal, there would be 5 tiers stratified to reward long-term investment and to discourage gambling. For example, gain on assets held for 1 day or less would be taxed at 98%. But those held for over 20 years, the tax rate would be 5%. This change would discourage short-term gambling and redirect investors' efforts toward intelligent investments, funding our future. Thus, I think it is appropriate to change the name from capital gains tax to pro-investment tax. All right, to summarize, 3 general changes: making our tax laws clearer and easier to understand and comply with, taxing those who can afford it and regulating those who need it, and encouraging and enforcing voluntary compliance with our tax laws. And then changes to 3 specific tax types: social cost and benefit taxation, the anti-aristocracy tax, and the pro-investment tax. All of these proposed changes are covered in much greater detail in my other videos, but I hope you got a general idea of what they're about right here. And of course, they are part of my larger 9-point agenda for change, which is intended to radically reverse Ronnie Rodeo's reactionary Republican revolution. There are quite a few videos on this topic. And of course, those and all my videos can be found on your friendly neighborhood internet at www.daffwold.com. Thank y'all for your attention. I hope this has been helpful. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope you'll join me again sometime.